Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Elo. You've been having some headaches lately for a while now. I'm sorry to hear that. What's been going on? Well, that does not sound good, so I'm hoping that we can work together today to get to the bottom of it. Can I just confirm your name and your date of birth? Okay, great. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to take some of your basic vitals first to make sure that, you're in relative health otherwise. Okay. So I'm just going to place this stethoscope on your chest, and I'm going to listen to your heart rate and your breathing as well. Okay? So I'm just going to put this right here. You can breathe normally at the moment. Slide it over to your right. Okay, I'm going to come over your left shoulder now to your back. And can you take a deep breath in for me and through your nose? Good. One more time. Okay, you can breathe normally again. I'm going to listen over your right shoulder now. And take a deep breath in for me. And one more, fill that belly up. Okay, good. Alright, so good news so far. Your breathing sounds great. Your heartbeat sounds nice and strong. I didn't hear any arrhythmia. There wasn't any gargling or rasping in your lungs. Nothing to be concerned about there. Okay. Just gonna mark that down. Okay. Good. Next, I'm just going to take your temperature. So this is a under the tongue thermometer. So if I could just get you to lift your tongue up. I'm just going to place that right there. Okay, give it just a second. Okay. Perfect. You are at 98.7. Which is well within the normal range. Okay. Do you know how much you weigh? And do you know your height? Okay. Alright, so have you experienced any head trauma recently? Did you have a fall? Did something hit you in the head? Not that you can remember. Do you play any sports? What about any other outdoor activities? Do you garden or do anything recreationally, not like a competitive sport, but okay. And do you drive? Okay. Have you noticed that your head hurts more in the morning versus the nighttime? Okay. And what about the sunlight? Does it bother you to be in exposed bright lighting? It intensifies it. Okay. Right. So you don't remember exactly when this started, roughly? A couple months ago, maybe? I know time has just been flying by. It's hard to keep track, especially when you're not feeling well, so don't worry about that. I'm just trying to get a better idea of what's going on and certain factors that can influence the prevalence of headaches have sort of a half-life or a time span that they'll be a problem. So if this is something that's been going on for 6 months, it might be very different than something that's only been going on for a couple of weeks. It's just nice to know the relative time frame. But this seems like it's, in the grand scheme of things, relatively recent. Right, okay. Which of course that doesn't make it any better, but at least we know that we're working with a new issue. Have you made any changes to your diet recently? Okay, so you cut back a little on meat. Okay. What about any candy, soda, anything very sugary, even natural fruits? Okay. A little more fruit. Okay. I know when the weather's nice, it's a lot easier to get your fruits in. I'm a big watermelon fan. It's very refreshing. Okay. Let's see. How's your sleep been? Fairly the same. And when you have a headache at night, does it become difficult to sleep? No. Okay. It's also good to know. Excuse me. Okay. Alright, so your sleep has been pretty steady, but these headaches are disrupting your daily life. And do you sometimes wake up already with a headache? Yes. Okay. Okay. What kind of living situation are you in? Like, predominantly, what I mean by that is, where are you sleeping? Are you on a bed, a couch? Is there central air conditioning? Is there heating? Is there a fireplace or any other element that affects your sleep quality? Okay. Is that a window unit? Oh, okay. Okay. Any other factors that might be contributing to your sleep? Same pillow. Okay. And do you use an anatomical pillow or just a fluffy one? Okay. Do you sleep perfectly horizontal, or do you have a wedge or anything? Okay. And I know you said your sleep schedule has remained about the same. Do you sleep a regular overnight sort of time frame? You don't work night shifts or anything? Okay. Yeah, actually, there's been some research recently that has been showing that night shifts can really influence your overall health, even if you're sleeping enough hours during the day. I assume that that has something to do, or that it's going to eventually point towards this idea that we have a receptor in our brain that is able to take in light, and the light then keeps us awake during the daytime. Right, so when you're only awake at night, it throws off that internal clock, and you're no longer really making use of the daylight to tell you to stay awake. It can also be harder to fall asleep because the sun's likely already up and out by the time you're heading to bed, and getting perfectly dark sleeping conditions can be difficult, on top of the fact that there is street noise and kids running around and all kinds of potential interruptions. Right, so there's a lot of factors at play, and there's no definitive really answers yet, but it is good to know if someone is working an overnight shift, because that can interfere. It can create headaches all on its own. Okay. Alright, let's see if there are any more questions I need to ask you. Have you ever experienced anything like this before? Have you had a period in your life where you had strong headaches? Just every now and then, but nothing consistent like this? Okay. Okay, good. Alright, is there anything else you wanted me to know about before we move into some of our testing? Okay. Alright, well, we will definitely be covering all of the sensory bases that could be affecting how you're feeling right now and what your brain is doing. There are really two main types of headaches. Stress and tension is one major type of headache, and then there are also outside factors that can provide a headache, like smells and other sensory disturbances that bring the headache to you, so to speak, rather than it being something that's coming from the inside out. Exactly. So what we're going to do is work through a few tests. The first thing I'm going to do is just sort of feel around your face and actually do a little bit of massaging, because I want you to be nice and relaxed as best you can. Right. Are you feeling like you have a headache right now, or starting to get one, or coming off of one? A little bit. Okay, well, hopefully we can work to really relax your head and neck and shoulders and face and scalp. And that way, when we go through the testing, number one, it won't make you feel so bad. And number two, we'll have a nice baseline to determine. Okay. So if I can, just gonna gonna push here. Does that feel alright? Okay, definitely let me know if anything I do feels uncomfortable. I'm not looking to hurt you, I'm trying to relax you, so just gonna rub your temples in some clockwise and counterclockwise circles. Does that pressure feel okay? Okay. You can close your eyes if you want to. It's common for people to kind of doze off during this part, so don't worry. I'm just gonna feel now under your jawline, and I'm just sort of pressing the pulling all of the blood in the way that it should be flowing and simultaneously just trying to release any potential pressure. I'm going to push on some pressure points now that are under your jawline. Okay. Alright, and behind your ears as well. There's a nice little spot back here. Do you feel that? Yep. Okay. Alright, good. You're doing great. Just gonna pull a little bit now from the corners of your eyes, moving outward. And I'm gonna go over your brow bone. I'm just gonna sweep across your forehead now. A little bit of pressure from my fingertips here. Okay. Just gonna go through that one more time. And if you can, just bring your awareness to your neck and shoulders for me and try to see that they are relaxed. A good mark is that your shoulders are drawn down away from your ears. Okay. And your back should be free of tension as well. Alright. I'm just going to press those pressure points again. And behind your ears. Good. Is that pressure okay? Okay, great. Alright. Just do around your eyes, which should be nice and relaxed, I hope. Good. And also at the corners of your mouth here. Under your eyes. And above. Okay, and if you can tip your head to one side for me. Slowly bring it back to center. And to the other side. Do you feel a little bit of a stretch through your neck here? Okay, if you want to intensify that stretch, you can take your hand with your palm flat like this and push down, and that will sort of elongate these muscles. You do the opposite arm to the way that you're tilting. Slowly back to the center. Other side one more time. Okay, to the center. And last one. And gently back up. Good. Okay. How did all that feel? Okay? Okay, good. I didn't notice any swelling. Your eyes weren't bulging. Nothing appeared to be carrying a lot of fluid under the surface where I was touching. You weren't overly sensitive to the pressure points, so that is all really good news. And even better because that means we're successful in our relaxing. Right. And now we will be all set to do a couple of tests. Okay. So the point of these tests is essentially to see the boundaries of what feels comfortable. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just some eye movements. Okay, so you can just keep your head nice and still, look straight ahead, and I'm just going to have you move your eyes in the direction that I say. And the important thing here is not to stress the movement. So if I say look up, don't look up so high that it hurts. Only go to where you feel comfortable. So that way I'll be able to see where that boundary is for you. Does that make sense? Okay, great. So if you can look up for me. Okay. Good. And can you look to your left, please? Can you see this? No? Okay. And look to your right for me, please. Can you see this? Yes, okay. And can you look down for me? And can you see this? No, okay. Alright, you can look back center again and just blink a few times and relax your eyes. If you do feel yourself becoming very tense, just let me know, okay? And we'll do a little bit more massaging and make sure that you're comfortable. Okay. So now what I want you to do, I'm going to look a little deeper into your eye this time, and I want you to show me your max for this, okay? So whereas before I just wanted you to go where you are comfortable, this time I'd like for you to go as far in the direction as you can, even if it's only for a couple of seconds. Okay? Alright, so look up for me. Okay, good. Look to your left. Okay, good. Look to your right now. And down, please. Okay, good job. I'm sorry. I hope that didn't hurt too much. Feel a little bit of pain there. Okay. I have this tool that I'm just going to use, and it's going to roll over your face just like this. On your forehead. And I'm going to use the smaller roller to get around your sinus area and across your chin, okay? And this is just going to help quickly bring all that blood flow back in an even way, so that you're not getting too tense too fast. You can close your eyes if you'd like, or blink, whatever feels good right now. That's the time to do it. we do have a few more tests that are likely going to be a little painful since your eyes are really sensitive with this particular type of headache you've been experiencing. So I will use the roller anytime you feel discomfort, so just let me know. Not a problem for me. How does that feel? Better? Okay, good. Can I have you plug one of your nostrils for me? Doesn't matter which one. I have a solution here that's got a fairly strong smell, if you have a good sense of smell. Yeah, mine is very sharp, so what I'm going to do is open this dropper bottle from a distance, and I'm going to then bring it close to you and see if you can smell it. You don't have to identify what the smell is, but just let me know if you can smell it. Okay? So first we're going to do this with one nostril closed. Okay? Can you smell that? Not from there? Okay. How about now? Yeah, okay. Give you a second. Yep, just breathe normal. I know it's not super pleasant. You're gonna be just fine though, I promise. Yep, it goes away pretty fast, right? And just so you know, if you are feeling like you have a headache coming on by the time you're going to leave here, I can give you some medicine that will take care of that right away so that you feel comfortable driving. Okay. Alright, so if you can plug up your other nostril now. Can you smell that? A little bit. And now? Yep. Alright. I gotta do it one more time with both open. I'm sorry. I always feel bad during these portions of my exams. I became a doctor to help people, and it's hard to see people suffering, so hopefully this isn't that bad though. Okay, good. Alright, so take a deep breath for me. Okay, let your shoulders drop. Okay, one more time. Can you smell this? You can. And here. Okay. Alright. So it looks like you've got a little bit more of a sense of smell on one side than the other. Do you know if you have a deviated septum? Okay. Are smells usually a problem for you? Sometimes. Depends on the smell. Okay. Could you categorize which ones tend to bother you? Like, are they aerosol sprays? Are they floral? Are they food smells? Are they chemical smells? Okay. That's fine. Alright. Just making notes about the eye movement and the smell. This is going to be a little bit of a weird question. It's okay if you can't answer it, but did you feel more of a disturbance in your face, head, eyes, etc. when we were doing the eye movement test or the smell test? Okay, so doing the extreme eye movements was probably the worst. Okay. Just gonna roll your face again here. I know these are great, aren't they? You can definitely have one. Just ask the receptionist on your way out. That's okay, they're not that expensive, so you can take one. They do a great job. They're actually really good for any sort of muscle issue. If you have calf cramps or arms are hurting, legs are hurting, thighs are hurting. They're very good at moving the blood flow and giving a little massage just at the same time. Okay. Do you have any allergies? Okay. You might have a little bit of seasonal then, yeah. Okay. Alright, feeling a little better. Okay, I'm gonna also get your jawline now too. Okay. Right through here. And through here. And I'm gonna come down into your neck a little bit along where your jugular is. Because these next tests that we're gonna do might be a little tension inducing, and I want to make sure that there's as least tension as possible to start with again. Just get your left side here, down your neck, and right side. Awkward hand positioning. Okay. Good. Feel comfortable? Okay, good. Alright. So next what we're going to do, I have a little light here. Okay. And this light is capable of producing 4 different colors. And what I want you to do, I'm going to have you close your eyes for, let's say 10 seconds, okay? So we're going to count to 10. And when you open your eyes, I'm going to have the light shining, okay? So for example, here. And I'm going to have you look straight to the area of the light and tell me what color you see. Okay, sounds good, makes sense. So you're just going to close your eyes. You don't have to squeeze them very tight. We don't want to cause any unnecessary tension. Just close them, and we're going to wait 10 seconds to let your pupils contract, let everything just sort of relax and get darker than our room settings here. And then I just want you to open your eyes. I'm going to hold the flashlight just directly in front here, and you just let me know what color you see. Okay, good. Alright, so go ahead and close your eyes. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. White, good. Okay, close your eyes again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Blue, great job. Got 2 more. Close your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Orange, great Great job. One more. Okay, close them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Green. Great job. Okay, you feeling alright? You can blink a bit. Hope that wasn't too painful. Okay, I was just looking at your pupils and also testing to make sure that your eyes are seeing, the light as fast as they should be. Sometimes when we experience headaches, we have an occlusion which can slow down actually the rate at which we process light. So having different colored lights makes me aware of whether or not you are experiencing something like that, and if it's affecting a certain light wavelength, if that makes sense. Right, because every color is a different wavelength on the spectrum, and sometimes when we can see blue, we can't see orange, or we can see green but not red, and it's kind of like a temporary color blindness, but different. Right, so you were able to see all the colors, which is great. And you saw the base, which was just the regular white light, and you did all of that with a good reaction time, so nothing that I'm really concerned about in terms of you maybe having some sort of tumor or situation behind your eye. Nothing's detaching from your retina, nothing is growing back there that might be making the actual area where your eye is processing that light less able to do its job. Yeah, I hope I explained that well enough. Sometimes it's hard not to use medical terminology. Okay, good. So the next thing I'm going to do is just a little eye light test, okay? We're just going to use the white light for this one, and I'm just going to test your pupillary action again, a little bit differently this time, and then we're going to follow the light. Tell me when you can see the light, that kind of thing. Okay? So first thing I'm going to do is look for your constriction in your pupils, okay? Good, okay, both sides are reacting. And on the other side. Great, okay, that's perfect. Everything looks good. Okay, and can I have you look up a little bit? And look down. Okay, and to your left. And to your right. Okay, great. Blink a little bit. Okay, can you see my whole face right now? Good. Can you see my hand here? Okay, and what about here? Okay, great. So what I'm going to have you do is just look straight ahead. You can look at my chin, at my nose, at my eyes, my forehead, or even at a spot behind me. If you don't want to look at my face, that's fine. Okay? And just keep your head still. Keep your eyes fixated on the spot that you choose. And I'm going to bring the light into your field of vision like this. And I just want you to say yes, now, okay, when you see it. Any of those things, yes. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Good. 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 Great. Okay. Feeling okay? Alright, I'm gonna come from random places now instead of going in a circle. Okay. Good. 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 Okay. Good. Great job. Okay. I'm going to move closer now. We're essentially going to do the same thing, but at a closer level, okay? So we're going to go in a circle. Good. 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 Great. Okay. Good. Almost done. Good. Alright, great. That was perfect. Feeling okay? Just blink a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to have you follow the light for me, okay? So just don't move your head. Just nice and slow. Good job. Okay, great. We're going to do the same thing up close. You ready? Okay. Okay, great job. Okay, how painful was that flashlight on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay. And a couple more questions for you now, having eliminated some things. Has there been any major changes in your life recently? So did you move? Any unexpected death of a friend or family member? Any pet illness? Any kind of change in your school or work life? Have you been feeling stressed? That's understandable. And has anything really been weighing on your mind a lot recently that you're aware of? Okay. Do you use social media? Okay. Do you have a Twitter? How often are you on that service? On average. Okay. What about Facebook? Okay. Instagram? Okay. And do you consume any news outlets via TV or reading online or anything? Okay. Alright. So the last thing I'm going to do here is just measure some areas on your face. This is similar to what I was doing earlier to make sure that you just don't have any sort of abnormalities in your actual facial and skeletal structure. It's another thing that kind of checks for any growths or underlying conditions that we can't actually see. Right, so making sure that your eyes are relatively equal, your face is relatively symmetrical, you don't have a lump anywhere on your head that's changing the distance from one ear to the other, or your ear to your jaw, things like that. Okay. Alright, so you can keep your eyes open or closed, doesn't matter to me. Good. Okay, other side. Good. Get across your forehead. Good, okay. Ear down your neck. Other side. Good, I'm gonna get around your hood on the top. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Other side. Can you smile for me? Okay, and can you frown? Okay. Can you raise your eyebrows up? Okay, you can let go. And can you puff out your cheeks? Okay, you can release. Good. Alright, can you just tilt your head? You can get on your neck here to your shoulder. Okay, good. Same thing, other side. Okay, great. Everything is looking well within normal sort of expectations, and all of your measurements are relatively equal on all sides. So that's a pretty good indicator that there's no massive growth or anything happening beneath the surface. It's a good sign that you don't have any bumps or lumps that could be from a fall or injury or accident that you might not remember, anything like that that could be happening beneath the surface, Sometimes it's hard to see. Right, so we just like to use measurements to be precise, just in case. And I'm just gonna feel now with my fingers though as well, around your scalp and neck, and the places that I haven't really touched yet, to make sure that there's none of these same issues really, which I'm not feeling any. Okay. So, I think that the main cause of your current headaches are stress tension headaches. And you don't always have to have anxiety or feel your stress for it to cause you issues in your body. So I like to start off kind of at a lower treatment option and work our way up. So I'm going to have you on a treatment plan for 2 weeks. If you notice at the end of that time that it hasn't gotten any better, or if after a few days or a week things really feel unbearable and you're in a lot of pain, please call and let me know. I will prescribe you something the same day to help take care of that. But before we jump into prescription medications, I wanted to just recommend some sort of lifestyle things that you can do to try to help. Okay, and I know that these might sound too simple to be effective, but they are incredibly effective. There's a lot of science backing these things as being helpful, and I certainly wouldn't turn you away without giving you a treatment that I thought was actually going to work. So, number one, grab one of your rollers on the way out and make sure that every day, at least once or twice a day, twice preferably or more, you roll, okay, just like this, on your neck, on your chin, on your sinuses, okay, on your forehead, and you can even go down into your collarbone and your shoulders and where you can reach on your back, okay? And I want you to put as much pressure as feels comfortable for you, and do that for a couple of minutes each time. And certainly if you start coming down with a headache, do that right away. It's very light, so it's pretty portable. You can bring it with you wherever you need to go. Okay. The other thing I'm going to recommend is once every 3 days, I'd like for you to get something like this. Okay. These are bath bombs, but you can also get just a regular Epsom salt if you want. I like these because they're already the proper amount that you need for your bath. And soak, okay, soak for at least 20 minutes, okay. I recommend the lavender ones. They're a very soft and soothing scent, so it shouldn't bother your nose too much and create any sort of sensitivity headache, okay. And lastly, I'd like for you to take some extra strength Tylenol anytime that you feel a headache coming on, okay? It is important not to take too much Tylenol. That can be very, very bad for your system. So if you have a day where you're having more than 2 headaches in the day, do not take Tylenol more than twice, okay? If you've been fine most of the day, maybe you only took Tylenol once, I'd like for you to take it before you fall asleep, okay? And this isn't something that I want you to do in the long term. It's just for these 2 weeks because we want to help try to aid your recovery. It's sort of just a complement to the other things, okay? And outside of taking those soaks and using the roller, I'd also like for you to dedicate at least 15 minutes a day. You can spread it out into 3 5-minute groups, or 1 10-minute and 1 5-minute, however you'd like to do, but 15 total, to do some stretching and meditation, okay? And by meditation, I just mean sitting calmly and becoming aware of your body, okay? So don't let yourself think about anything outside of how you feel physically. Release the tension like we worked on earlier in your neck, eyes, mouth, your whole body. Just sort of do a mental scan and try to stay very present in that moment. You can also just do some basic stretching, and that help with the blood flow. The point of this is, number one, to reduce tension by becoming aware of it, and number two, to reduce tension by making sure that nothing is pinched off. You know, sometimes when we sit or stand or fall into our routines every day, it can have these impingements in our body that we're unaware of, and then next thing you know it, you have a headache. Okay, so stretch and meditate. Good question. I think it would be ideal to do 3 5-minute segments, just like morning, noon, and night kind of thing, so that it's pretty evenly spaced out. And that way you'll be, breaking it up as the day goes along, and you'll also be conscious throughout more of the day and into the evening. Okay? If you can refrain from using electronic devices, I recommend doing so, staying off of social media, but also not looking at a screen as you're going to sleep. I know that most people don't actually do that when I tell them to, but if you really are feeling unwell and suffering with these headaches, that is a huge help. Okay? Alright, well, did you have any questions for me, or you feel comfortable with the treatment plan? I sent it up to the reception desk where you'll check out, so they'll print out all the instructions that I just told you. Okay. Alright, well, as you know, at Quake Clinic, you're welcome to stay and sleep for as long as you'd like, or just have a few minutes to yourself before rejoining the world. We have a bed behind you, there's a mini fridge and some snacks. You can help yourself. Everything's complimentary. And just whenever you're ready, you'll go out the hall and to your left to reception, okay? Okay, great. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, and just call me, let me know if you have any issues. If not, I will see you at a follow-up in about 2 weeks, okay?